Hey guys, Joe here from XFoxGames. Check it out. We got the SlingShot here by Airwarriors, of course, by Busby. And you know, I've passed this one up at my local Target store a couple times, and I was like, no, I don't want to get it. You know, it's not going to perform that well. It's going to shoot like 20 FPS, and I'm going to be disappointed. They actually had them on sale at our local Target store. And I think when I got it, it was $6.99. Originally $9.99, so you guys can check it out there. Again, might be more, a little bit less at your local stores. But I figured, you know what, let's pick this thing up and let's see if it's going to perform as bad as I think it is, right? But what's cool is, you know, a lot of the guys over at Busby's and things like that with their Adventure Force line and the Airwarriors line, I mean, they've come out with some really good stuff lately, and I know this is completely different than, say, like a Spectrum, you know, or something like that. So I was like on the fence. But hopefully, again, if you guys see this on sale at your local store, maybe you guys might, you know, say, you know what? I saw Xbox review that thing, and it actually wasn't that bad. Or, hey, it was really bad. I don't want it. But again, it was on sale when we picked it up. So, I don't know. Your choice, right? Get it full price, get it on sale. I don't know. But, you know, it's actually not that bad. So I want to get into this thing and kind of talk about it again so you guys can kind of see if it's something that you guys will want to get if you guys see it at your store. So let's hop in and take a look at the actual box here. So the front of it, nothing too crazy, right? It's just a slingshot. It got some suction darts. I was like, okay, maybe I could shoot it at my TV. Maybe I could shoot it at like a mirror or something that has a, you know, a piece of plastic or something that can suction on there. So it wasn't too crazy. I didn't really see an FPS kind of remark on here to say, hey, here's how far it's going to shoot, and here's the FPS. So I think that's kind of nice. They don't claim anything. They're just like, hey, we just got some suction darts, and it's a slingshot, right? I always had a slingshot, you know, when I was a little kid shooting out in the woods and stuff like that. So I figured, you know what, why not? Let's try this. On the back, it kind of goes over it to a little bit more. It talks about the suction darts, kind of shows you how to kind of operate it. And, you know, when I first was looking at it, I wasn't sure if the actual band was part of this. I mean, I see there was a band on there, but I wasn't sure if it was just there as, you know, kind of a prop. But indeed, it actually does the real deal. So nothing too crazy on the actual box itself. Now, if we take a look at the actual slingshot itself, I keep wanting to call this a blaster. Should we call it a blaster? Or do we call it a slingshot or a slingshot blaster? Anyways, when we look at it itself, it's actually not that bad. It's very rigid, and it's built pretty nice. I mean, it's gonna handle some drops and things like that. One of the things that I did notice about it, though, is on my little band, I noticed that, I'm not sure if there's already like stress marks on it or not, but on the places that really kind of touch the plastic, I noticed that it's kind of turning this white, like it's really been used. I don't know if that has to do, again, with something like, you know, this, just the break-in period or what, but still, I think it looks like a slingshot, nonetheless. I mean, right? I mean, you can't go wrong when it comes to slingshot. When it comes to the handle or the grip of this, now, again, I have larger adult hands, and it was actually kind of hard for me to grip it correctly, right? I would try to grip it. It was at a weird angle. My hands are like, look, I mean, I cover up the whole thing. So if this was maybe extended about an inch, inch and a half, okay. For smaller hands, it's probably going to work absolutely great, right? Because you can, I mean, right, your hands aren't that huge, but you're going to be able to grip that bottom, pull it, and shoot it, right? But for me, again, it was kind of hard because of the angle, and I couldn't really find a good way to grab this thing to actually shoot it. So I don't know. I mean, maybe, yeah, an extension on this thing for the larger adult hands, but I get that this one is aimed for kids, you know, the lower ages of the kids. Anyways, let's take a look at the actual kind of priming mechanism here. It's actually, again, pretty straightforward to shoot. I mean, pretty much you just get that band, you put it in the back there, you slip a dart in the front, and we'll talk about the darts here in a little bit. Slip a dart in the front, push it down in, and pull back. Now, the FPS and everything is really dependent on how far you pull. So if you only want to do a small pull, it's only going to go out so far. You pull it back the full deal and shoot, perfect. You're going to get the maximum performance out of this. Now, this is not a speed loader by any means, right? I mean, it is kind of going to be up to you and how fast you're able to pull and reload. There is no, of course, clip mechanism on here. One of the strange things, though, is that I noticed about this, you see the angle that is at right there? So this only really has 3 positions. That, which is, I consider the closed position. I consider that the fire position. So it has these little grooves in the plastic, right? And then you have the up position. Really, there's only 2. I mean, this one, okay, it's a stored position. This one, you can't really fire it. You can only really fire it from that right there. So it puts it at kind of a weird angle. See, when you fire, you kind of have to have this side approach to it And it would be nice if you can kind of angle this, you know, a little bit more. You can, but if you watch it, you see how when you shoot it, it kind of wants to snap back to that kind of whatever. I mean, it kind of, yeah. So that was the only thing about this blaster is when I was kind of trying to shoot it, I had to get it at this type of angle to shoot it. My hand's about 90 degrees, and then I shoot it instead of kind of being like this, like a true 90 like that. But then when I shot it, yep, it kind of goes back. So it made my shot kind of veer off. That was the only complaint that I had about this. I don't know. I might end up kind of filing those down so I can shoot it at any position, and you can even store it, you know, if need be. That was really the only complaint that I had when shooting this. I was like, whoa, why does it keep going back like that? See that? Anyways, I won't hamper on that too much, but it was just something that I particularly noticed. Now, yes, it does come with 6 of these suction darts, and yes, they do suction on stuff. And they're, you know, they are what they are. Little suction darts. You can see I'm going to stick it on my phone here. Absolutely no problem when they shoot. If you shoot it on a mirror or something like that, they're not going to stick forever. I ended up kind of licking the front to give it a little more suction. So not too bad. And here's the thing, is I shot it and kind of compared them with the waffle head darts, the elite darts, some of the other stuff from Adventure Force, some of the other, you know, kind of distance darts from Adventure Force. And to be honest, they all shot the same. I didn't really notice any difference other, of course, than maybe the accuracy on the waffle heads and the distance darts were a little bit better, as the suctions were more just, hey, I'm going to stick to the actual, you know, whatever it is we're shooting at. So let's switch it up here so you guys can kind of see me shooting this thing. Now, again, I shot a bunch of the suction darts. I just didn't have anything to suction it on. So in my video here, I'm just shooting kind of just random darts, suction darts. I'm shooting some of the waffle heads. And again, they all shot great. I did not notice a FPS difference when I was shooting this. And it's crazy. You know what? I thought this thing was going to shoot like 30 FPS, maybe 40. And this thing was shooting like, if you pulled it all the way back and I got it through my chrono, I was shooting about 65, 60. And I was like, what? This thing is shooting 60 FPS from a little slingshot? I go, this has got to be crazy. So when I'm shooting, you could see some of them shoot actually pretty hard. And I was impressed because I was like, man, that's almost on par with some of, like, say, like the Nerf blaster stuff. They come stock at 60 FPS. I was amazed. I was not expecting that out of this thing, to be shooting, 60 FPS out of the gate. I was not expecting that. A couple of them, though, you could see I actually hit my chrono and like dropped to like 23. But hey, that's because I hit my chrono, and it was really hard to get this to shoot exactly through the chrono. But when I did, nonetheless, I mean, 60, 65 all day long. So I have full confidence you could sit on your couch, depending on how far it is away. You know, you can lick the head of the dart, give it a little bit more extra suction and a seal, and shoot it, you know, at your TV and have it stick. Now, do I condone that? No. You know, I would shoot it like it's something else. Don't shoot it at any electronics unless you might want to damage it, right? So, you know, overall, I think it's not that bad. Is it worth $9? For me, no. You know, when it goes on sale, for sure, especially if it's just something that you just want to have, right? As a little slingshot, it'll pick me up. But I know a lot of people will end up probably picking up a Jolt. They're a little bit cheaper, and you can kind of aim it a little bit easier. This, if it didn't have kind of the lock-in shoot mechanism like that, it would have been much better, but I get kind of why they do it, so it can kind of give you a little more, you know, But again, it's just hard for me, so I would like to move this around a little bit and be able to kind of shoot where I want to shoot instead of shooting and then having it fling back to where it is. But nonetheless, I'm like, yeah, okay, wow, it's shooting pretty good for a slingshot. Nonetheless. Anyways, let me know what you guys think of this. I'm always curious to see if you guys pick this thing up and what your take is on it, right? Because, you know, I want to hear from you guys, see what you guys say. Anyways, let me know what you guys think. Leave it in the comments below. Definitely, of course, subscribe if you guys haven't already. Get in on the giveaways we're doing. Thanks again, Fox fans.